Well, that kind of came out of, yeah, I'm not really quite sure how that started. I think it was Peter and Zoltan Katina were at a concert, and they played a concert in Minneapolis, and I had somebody that had one of my guitars up there, and Peter picked up my other customer's guitar and he says, "Wow, this is a lot lighter than mine." And I kind of, at that point, I kind of decided, I want to see how light I can make a guitar. Just want to see how light I can go with it. And I had been doing Spanish cedar, Honduras mahogany necks with ebony strips in it. I got 3 ebony strips in it, which makes a fairly heavy neck. And so I decided to do it with Spanish cedar and put a carbon bar in it instead. And made a sandwich back. The sandwich back has the same thickness of skin as the top, and the inside, although the inside Nomex, instead of being the lighter Nomex for the tops, has a more dense Nomex. And that guitar ended up weighing about, what was it? I can't remember what it was. I'm thinking in kilos. I think it was like 3.5 kilos? No. Well, it was very light. It was very light. No, it was 1.3 kilos. Yeah, it was 1.3 kilos. And people would pick it up and that's really light. It was, the effect of the sandwich back is that it makes it a little bit drier sound. You don't have a lot of the harmonic content. It's got a little shorter sustain, not a whole lot. In fact, I was kind of surprised. I thought maybe it would just be, just have all kinds of pop to it, and it wouldn't sustain very much. But it ended up having pretty good sustain. And a lot of people liked it. That's what I had built actually for about the past 3 years. And now I'm going back to my older style, which was what on my website, the tracks from Jakob Enriquez and the Katina twins, they both play on their solid back, and they have, well, I call it triangular and Gothic braces. Like these are what I call the Gothic braces. It's basically just a round top. That's a 5x5. And it just has a rounded top, and it becomes more Gothic in its profile because I use the same bit to cut it, so it becomes more like a Gothic arch. Yeah. That's just a way to kind of describe it. Otherwise, I don't think I have any other triangular braces made up right now. But they're the same dimension. I go from 5 millimeters by 5 millimeters down to, for the smallest base brace, down to 3.5 by 3.5 millimeters. And they are on a triangle then, like triangular file. So they're, they're a little bit lighter and they're not quite as stiff, but I think that you get a whole lot more, especially with the solid back, you get a lot more shimmer, a lot more chorusing in the instrument. You get a lot more harmonic content, a richer sound, and more sustain too. Of course, I did the solid back though too with the mahogany. I was going to say I do it with the mahogany neck with the ebony, but I did do the Gothic arching with the mahogany too on the solid back. In fact, that's what that one is right there. And both of these are the Gothic arches. I don't have any of the new old style that I was doing. But so it's kind of a conundrum that there are a lot of guitars out there that people have heard that are the Gothic brace and the sandwich back, and I tell them, well, this is what I'm doing now. I will build the other if that's what you like, but this is what
I prefer right now. And one of the issues that my friends have had with luthiers and ordering guitars is, in their perception, luthiers have a tendency to want to experiment a lot. And when they hear a guitar, they may like that guitar from that luthier. Then when they go to order it, they get the guitar and it's not the same guitar. Different bracing or something's different about it. And I try to be very upfront, you know, what I did, what I'm doing, why I'm doing it. You know, and I haven't had really very many stages in the different designs that I've done. I started out with Hernandez Iguado asymmetrical bracing, which was it had kind of cut off bar on the treble side. You know, I had 2 treble braces, and then so it had 5 braces, 2, 3, and 1. Yeah, 3, 4, 6 braces. And when I started doing the sandwich top, I was using that bracing system on the first few that I built. Then a friend of mine got a Baito guitar that had a Boucher brace. A friend of mine, Steve Armstrong, was always saying, you know, you got to do the Boucher brace. And the only representations I'd seen of it was like lumber, you know, pieces of lumber that were inside of the guitar, and I just said, that's way too heavy. And that was in the Courtnall book. And when I saw this guitar, I really liked it. I mean, I liked the guitar for one thing. And the thing about it was that it was so delicate. It was just so light. The bracing was so light. It went from 5 by 5 millimeters down to 3.5 by 3.5. In fact, it went 3 by 3, and I thought, well, that's a little bit too light for me. And the braces actually start tapering from the Boucher bar, so you've got your first brace, well, which is even a smaller brace than that. Your first brace actually, so like your Boucher bar is underneath the bridge, and the first bass brace actually starts tapering from the Boucher bar down to nothing, you know, so there's not a lot of strength in that part of it. And then progressively the braces get stiffer, and then the tapering, you know, gets shorter. But it sort of like gave me permission to go that light, you know. And I've always built light. I remember the 7th guitar I built, I took out to Healdsburg, and Charles Fox saw it, and he liked it, and he asked me, you know, what kind of thicknesses are you using? And I told him, and he kind of said, well, he said, what is it? The courage of the builder is inversely proportional to the thickness of the guitar top and back. You know, so, and, you know, actually it was more like, well, the ignorance of the builder maybe, you know. Yeah. I made some, I guess maybe some educated guesses. Difference between that and this is Brazilian. This is Brazilian rosewood with a cedar top. You hear a little bit more.
Yeah, it's way different, isn't it?
Yeah. Brazilian is nice. It's just too bad that we can't get it anymore.
Yeah.
I got some this last time, and it's, you know, it's expensive.
Yeah.
And it's just not, you know, I don't know whether I'm going to use it. Yeah, that's a piece. It's a pretty piece. It's and it doesn't have a bad ring to it, but it's slab cut, and I don't know if you can see it, but it's S-curved.
What does that mean?
Well, it's curved out here, and it's curved in here. Now, if it isn't too bad, but you know, you do brace it with a little bit of crown in it, and the side that's being crowned out, that wants to crown in, can have stress on it and could crack, you know, so what do you do? I don't know.
People will still be asking for Brazilian rosewood even when you can't get it. You know?
This is another alternative that I got, and this is, I've had this around for a long time. It's got kind of blotchy stuff in it, but that disappears when you wet it.
And that's Brazilian, isn't
This
it?
is, no, this is Pau Ferro.
Oh.
and it's got a nice sound to it. But
I think
then
we have to
again-
show off that Coca-Cola right there.
Oh yeah,
It's pretty.
yeah, and that'll get a lot darker.
Yeah.
That'll get darker over time. It is rosewood. Cocobolo is rosewood. It's Dalbergia retusa. Dalbergia is the rosewood genus.